Hey, what's up, guys? So, I want to make a video talking about why you may feel like everybody is out to get you when they may not actually be. And it's something that you may not have heard of before. So, let's get into it. All right, hey, what's up, guys? My name is Andrew, aka Dr. Sweets, and I make health related videos talking about my journey with concussions and all that I'm trying to do to heal not only my concussions, but a lot of issues that have been there for a long time happening inside my body and my brain, like anxiety, depression, and just a lot of inflammatory things going on that are causing a lot of issues. And especially most recently in the last couple of years, I've gotten concussions that have changed my life. And so it's really made it urgent that I've looked at certain factors that I'm going to talk about in this video. So I was reminded today as I was walking on campus at the school that I go to and just sitting alone and eating a meal that sometimes I can feel very not alone, but just kind of like very anxious about appearing alone and very anxious about people around me, especially when I'm sitting alone. And it makes it seem like everybody around you is kind of looking at you and constantly focusing on you and judging you and just having negative thoughts about you. And it's super interesting. And I wanted to bring up something that you may not have thought about as far as this issue. And that is that in the past few years, I've been doing a lot of work on healing my concussions, which has led me to heal my gut or try to heal my gut and work on healing my gut, because I've learned that what's going on in your gut has a huge impact of what's going on in your brain. And so, for example, what I think is a huge factor that not a lot of people know about, as far as why they may feel this sense of everybody is like attacking them or everybody is out to get them, it very well, in my opinion, could have a lot to do with the state of your microbiome and the potential imbalance that you may have. And what that means is this. So let's say you took some antibiotics, or you've taken certain over-the-counter medications like ibuprofen, or you've taken foods that have killed off your good bacteria, or just you've gone through a traumatic experience that has also depleted your good bacteria, or you've had concussions like me, and that automatically damages your gut barrier. And so let's say you have this gut issue going on and you have too much bad bacteria and not enough good bacteria. Well, what happens is that when you eat a lot of carbs or certain carbohydrates, those bacteria, or that bacteria slash the bad bacteria, fungus, yeast that has overgrown inside of your gut, will start metabolizing your food and it'll start to create inflammatory compounds that get through your gut barrier, which is also called leaky gut, and get into your brain and cause you to feel anxiety. And it'll activate your nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system, in a way that'll make you over alert to your environment and kind of project negative thoughts of others onto yourself. And so I noticed that whenever, because I haven't healed my gut completely and I know I have a lot of work to do. And so whenever I know that I'm getting those inflammatory symptoms, and when I'm getting anxious and over alert to my environment and over projecting what other people are thinking and just kind of afraid in general, I know that it's because of my gut, because it 100% correlates to what I've been eating. And so I guess that's the number one thing that you should look into, is the state of your microbiome. And you can do that by just experimenting with your diet and seeing what foods help you. And I'll get to that in a second, as far as what foods seem to help me reduce those symptoms completely, to remind myself that that is not how I am or who I am. It's just a state of chemicals running through my system at the current time because of the imbalance of bacteria in my gut. But so you can get some tests done, which you'll have to find certain health doctors that'll do these with you, but like a test for SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, just general gut health and microbial balance or diversity, and like a comprehensive stool test basically, and you want to test for leaky gut. You want to test for what strains of bacteria you have and which ones are too high and which ones are too low. Like for me, I've gotten that tested, and I have too much of certain bad potential pathogenic bacteria that are inflammatory and not enough of the good bacteria. And it makes sense. And that's one of the reasons why my concussion symptoms come and go and come and go, because the inflammation pouring out of my gut through my gut barrier is going straight into my brain because of this. Basically, the lipopolysaccharides that are produced as from the metabolism of these bad bacteria. Because one thing that good bacteria produce is short chain fatty acids like butyrate. Like there's things that, like, the bacteria in your body are going to eat things, and when they eat things, they also create waste. And the ones that are considered good create waste products that are beneficial for you, and the ones that are considered non-beneficial or bad bacteria are the ones that create like inflammatory chemicals that get into your system and cause you anxiety and depression and brain fog and all that stuff. And so you should definitely look into that, because when those chemicals and all that stuff is running through your system, you're just going to be overactivated and over alert to everything around you, and you're going to be projecting negative thoughts from other people onto yourself, and you're going to be over analyzing everything just because of the state that you're in. And so okay, now I'll get into what seems to help me as far as diet, not necessarily long term, but just short term, to not feel those symptoms. And basically, the number one way of eating that has helped me reduce those symptoms is, number one, eating like a lower carbohydrate slash ketogenic style diet. And even more extreme is the option of doing like a carnivore style diet, which is basically an elimination diet, which gets rid of like all fiber and all carbs. And it definitely seems to reduce that over alertness. Like it's like taking a freaking chill pill, and it reduces so much anxiety. And yeah, so I would recommend doing that. And then also, if you want to keep carbs in your diet, definitely, well, first off, learn about nutrition, learn about what a carb is, what kinds of carbs there are, because there are different structures of carbohydrates. And so, for example, I seem to tolerate simpler structured carbohydrates like fruit sugar and just simpler carbs, as opposed to the more complex carbs like beans or like rice, and just things that people usually say are healthier, but it just totally depends on what your microbiome is like at the moment. And so you can look into this. You can look into the specific carbohydrate diet if you want to keep carbs in your diet, which I oscillate between going super low carb and then adding back in carbs, just because I find that my brain runs better on carbs, or more efficiently. I just have to make sure that I'm doing it with carbs that don't cause me certain issues. And as I heal my gut, I should be able to tolerate more and more carbs, but it's just a long process. And so, yeah, if you want to watch some videos about me eating a carnivore diet, or just me talking about my concussions more, be sure to check out the links in the description below or in the card above. Oh, and another thing that can help with this symptom is consuming probiotics. And so if you want to basically add in some good bacteria into your system, which, be careful, at first you can feel kind of sick, but I've noticed that after a while you get a little bit more used to it. But if you want to try probiotics, there's some links in the description below to those, the ones that I like to use, the ones that seem to boost my mood and just chill me out a little bit better. And there's also some other links to like juicers and some healthy vegan, organic, gluten-free cookies, which seem to be tolerable to me pretty well. But yeah, you don't have to check those out. And if you do check those out and you buy whatever's down there, I do get a commission. So don't feel pressure to do that. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for videos like this. Like it, comment below, and I hope that this issue goes away for you. And I know that I still struggle with it, and I just felt like I needed to tell you what I've learned, which I think is very powerful. We can freaking do it. Like, we got this. So